Oops.
Whoa, check this out. This is what happens if you don't touch your brakes for quite too long. The brake fluid. This is sent by one of my subscribers, now turned friend Harpinder. Thank you so much. Nicely packed.
Guys, welcome back to another episode of WeBuild. So our bike is up and running. So in this episode, we are going to test drive it.
And we are gonna fix the brakes. The front one are disc brakes, so we might have to bleed the brakes. I'll show you the process how to do it and everything.
And do some cosmetics like fixing the petrol tank cap and then the lock and then footrest or something, things like that. So let's begin. This front disc brake, it doesn't also work. So you see this lever is so loose. Let's check if it has oil or not. Otherwise we might have to bleed air. Let's open it up.
Let's begin by opening this fluid box. There are two screws which are quite fragile, so be careful while removing it. I hate these kind of screws. Now this gasket. Oh wow, man. Look at this. This is what happens if you leave your brake fluid untouched for a long time. So this bike was sitting idle for more than 7 years or so. So this is the condition of the brake fluid. It has crystallized completely. Okay, now I'll have to check at the bottom as well if this brake line is also jammed or not. Hopefully this brake line is okay, otherwise we'll have major troubles. Now even this, the rubber covers are jammed, so I have to beat them beat the shit out of them to take them off. Now I'll unscrew this valve and see. Check this out, there is a little bit of leakage of oil from here, so it is not crystallized. So I'm hoping the brake line is clear. I'll just take off the brake line and blow into it. I did blow into the brake line and it was clear, luckily. So the brake line is clear. I'll put it back on and then I'll just put some oil in it
Bottom.
and we will see if we are able to, just by putting some new brake fluid, if we are able to fix the brakes. That would be the best case scenario, but we'll see.
Dot 3 brake
Here
oil.
is some new dot 3 brake fluid. Just put it in there, and after we put it in, I have to pump the brakes a little bit, of quite a few
Let's
times,
pump
so
it.
that this uh, brake fluid can flow through the brake line until the brakes. This is called bleeding, but it did not work.
So my disc brake was not working. So in this reservoir, as I've shown you, the fluid was completely made a gel like substance, and then hence these two holes were blocked. So if you check it out, the left hole is very small, and you can't even see if it is blocked or not. So I used this needle to unblock it, and now I can see it is creating suction in both the holes. So hopefully, let me focus. Yeah, hopefully this time when I put the reservoir fluid, it will flow through this. Let's try.
I used this syringe to take out the fluid earlier. Put it back.
Oops. This is called bench bleeding. So now if you see, the fluid is coming through. Yeah, right. Connecting the brake line, एक washer and second washer, and in it goes. Right. So I tried loosening this bolt, and if you see, the brake fluid fell down. That means this line is also, brake line is also clear, so we can top it up now and then we can bleed the brakes. See, air coming out in the reservoir. That means our fluid is flowing.
So without the valve, when you pump the brakes, you can see it's spitting out oil. So that means the line is clear.
दिख रहे छींटे आने लग गए. Nice. Here is the bleed valve. So if you see, there is this one hole right there which is also blocked, so I'll have to clear it also. Let's clean it using the needle. So this is now clean. Check this out, two holes you can see through and through, and here also. So now we can install it.
There you go, screwing the valve back in, and once it's screwed,
Now let's bleed it.
bleeding is basically taking out air from the front brake system. So you just push in oil and remove the air.
So I didn't have a clear pipe, so I just drained it a little bit of the brake fluid, and that cleared the air in my brake line, and now the brakes are working fine. See, check this out. Done. So the fluid went into the brake lines, so it is a bit empty now. Let's top it up a bit more. I guess should be enough. And finally the cap. And we are done. Let's now test.
Now the brakes are working fine. The front wheel is absolutely locked. So moving on, next we are going to fix the. Next we have the rear brakes, but before that we are going to fix the fuel tank.
You see this lock, this petrol tank, this is the most immediate concern. So let's fix this, take it out, and I got this new one for 370. Install it.
Let's clean it up a little bit before doing anything else, so that the this dust doesn't get inside the fuel tank. So before you go to purchase this fuel tank cap, make sure you count the number of screws that go into it, because every model has a different kind of fuel tank cap. And here in my case it has 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 screws which go in. So you can just unscrew the old one and look at this, fits perfectly. I put back all the screws in.
And done. Keys. Okay. हो गया lock, unlock. Ta-da! Rest of the petrol waste मत करो, बहुत महंगा है. Next immediate concern is the rear brake. So we have this piece missing. I'll put it in here, and hopefully, oh shit, it's small or what? It will not fit. I need a bigger one. Rear brakes as well. This was missing, this piece, so I got this for 10 rupees, and now I can install it. Just remove this jugaad, and then yep, right there. Rear brake is ready. That part is right here, and then this bolt goes on here. Now air filter.
Installing the air filter is quite easy. You just need to find the air filter box, take off 4 bolts, and here I was expecting it to have a old air filter, but it didn't have. That's fine. This is the new air filter. It's just a sponge, and then the base we can use the old one. Just slap it on together and put it inside the air filter box. That's how easy it is to install an air filter. Done with it. Now we can put on the cover, and then there are the 4 same bolts. We bolt them back on, and we are done with the air filter installation. Last is this bolt which holds the filter box in place. Just tighten it. Now the filter box won't move, and this final cover, it locks in place using the bike key itself. So just lock it, and on the left side as well, this is battery cover. It goes in the same way, locks in place with this key, and we are done. Next is this side guard, leg guard, which is quite easy to install. Just 2 bolts hold it in place, tighten them, and it's a bit tilted, so a few hammers will do the trick.
So this side wing, one side was broken, so this, where we put the screw in, this was broken, so I put some plastic welder. I used some plastic welder and then some glue gun to fix it in place. Now it is fixed, and I can install it right there like this. Done with the right side wing also. Nice. So since this is a budget build, I welded this pipe thing with a bolt, and then screwed it on here onto this hole. So now we have a place to put our feet, and this is a handlebar thing. You can just put it on here, and this is ready. You can even stand on it. See, not breaking at all. Ta-da! Change the engine oil. It has a very old engine oil from my car. So now I'll put this Bajaj. It contains 1 liter and 200 milliliters of engine oil. So let's take it out and replace it with the old oil. And spilling it is my specialty, so can't do much. So the lug nut is back on. Let's put in the new oil. This out, if you can see, the oil level is until here, and I guess that's good enough. And close it.
Next is the gear selector. For the time being, we were using old gear selector from Pulsar 150 because this was not available, but now I found it for 200 rupees. And this gear selector is much more convenient to use with this bike because of the sitting posture and the location of this foot stand. So we just install it and put it on the gear selector knob, and we are done. This is quite an easy install. We just need to do some adjustment, and that can be done using bolts.
So I've taken off the meter as well. Check this out. Right here is the meter. So the problem is, you see this default 0 for this RPM wire is very way off, and the screen is also gone. So for now I will just fix this default 0, and then maybe later I'll find a new meter and install it, but for now that's it. So let's do this and install it.
So now I'm going to move this needle back manually to 0 and hope that when I put it back, it stays like this, and shows correct reading. But look at this, look at the screen. This is what happens if you leave it in sun for quite a long time. It is just peeling off.
So now it's set to 0. Installing the cap back on like this, and then let's put it back. I did install it again, but then when I turn it off and back on, it went back to its original place that was here. So this time I set it up after turning it on. So now let's try. It's still a bit off.
Eventually I was able to adjust it, but then one of my friends, Harpinder, he was watching my videos on YouTube, and he sent me this parcel with a new meter. So even my LCD issue is fixed now. So let's see what all he has sent. It's like Christmas came early. Okay, so now inside this coffee is all the things that he sent. He said that he restored his old bike, and there are quite a few parts that he has which were replaced in his bike. So I can use those parts, and they are all in this box. Ta-da! Quite nice packing, so it doesn't break. Okay, here is everything. This one is a sticker for the fuel tank, and here is the meter. It looks like new. The sockets are different, but I was hoping that I could fix it somehow. Then this is the cap for the engine, and this is intake manifold. Yeah, so all this, let's try the cap first. It goes in here. I've been using a sellotape for the time being, just for testing, and I could not find this cap anywhere in the market also. But let's try. Oh crap, this one is also too small.
Crap.
Back to the meter, let me show you what is the difference. The meters are almost the same, but their wiring harness is quite different. So the side of the wiring harness, that this socket which goes into the meter, is same for both. The number of pins also match, but the other side which goes into the bike, it is different. This one has 3 wires, the new one, and the old meter had 2. But I managed to use the old wiring harness with my bike to the new meter. So that's how, and luckily it worked also. But the thing is, in this meter, the neutral wire is the neutral light is quite faded. So that's the only problem. Otherwise, RPM and the speedometer, everything works fine. The LCD works fine on this. So yeah, for now it is an upgrade for me. The meter is replaced.
Let's install it.
After all that, we went for a test ride to test everything. The brakes work perfectly, front and back both. The meter works fine. The RPM shows, but it doesn't show the speed because we don't have a cable to show the speed. But other than that, everything else that we installed, the gear selector, the meter, the engine, everything works perfectly fine.
ओड़ा घड़ी कर दे.
And we are back from our test drive. It was quite successful. The brakes work and everything work. I did full restoration from scratch for this bike. I did engine assembly, and all the videos are available on my channel. If you haven't seen them, make sure you go and check it out. I am still going to work a bit on this bike to make it newer, to restore it. Until then, keep watching, like, share, subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye bye.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing.
This guy's not slowing down. Yeah, that's confirmed. He's not stopping. Code 3.